Welcome one and all to another pre-season race here at RLH, and we're racing around the Albert Park circuit in Australia, and I think it's going to be an interesting race. A lot of a big variety of drivers in Group 1, following Black Mamba as he comes towards the final sector now, and he's a bit more technical part of the lap. Do have to be careful when negotiating this one. He's got his teammate for this race, Florian, just behind him. As he now runs down the start-finish straight, looking to start his flying lap. Yellow flags as cars are backing up at that final corner, but the two Mercedes drivers have a nice clean track in front of them as they go through turn 1 and 2, and then running down towards turn number 3. Fortunately though, Black Mamba's invalidated down at turn 1. It is easy to pick up the odd invalidation here and there on this track. Florian though has had a good first 2 corners. Down at turn 3 he's getting all right at the moment, using a bit of curb there, bit skittish on the throttle, but no problems there at the moment. And he just set his first sector time is a 26.9. I think getting 26s will be important in qualifying, and we'll see what probably the favourite for this race will be, if I can find him on the list. How's Justice is getting on? Purple in the first sector. What else would you expect from the race winner the other day? Go back to Florian. He finishes that first sector 48.8 for him. What can Justice do? He's got a bit of a toe in front. Look at that first sector, all 7/10 up on the Mercedes driver, and a 47.8, doing very fast at the moment. Nice clean run for this game. Izzy gets out of the way very nicely indeed. Florian will be the first car to set a flying lap in this session. We'll see if Black Mamba comes to the pit lane, or I think he's going to finish the lap just to set a banker, of course, without actually sort of running a time. And look at the tyres for the drivers. 2 guys on mediums. Total line front is a 21.9. What can Justice do as he comes around the final corner? He'll be the next car to set a lap actually. And across the line it's going to be a 1 minute 19.6, a very, very quick time. So she's getting to those sub-20s. The Racing Point of Baker goes into P4, and Alex makes it currently a Ferrari 1-2. The times are coming in now as I think Brent just about to cross the line. He goes into P5, and a Red Bull of Sem goes into P3, and then the McLaren of, I think, Alex just starting a lap, and the Racing Point of Ralph makes it a Racing Point 7th and 8th at the moment, as the Renault of Kappa starts to final lap. I think he invalidated that previous attempt. Dog was getting out of the way. He went into P4 on that previous final lap. The car's just getting off the track to make way. Is Brent going again? I don't think he is. No, he's not got any ERS deployed. Kappa try again. Alex unfortunately invalidating in that first sector. Andrew will be the next car to cross the line and complete his flying lap. We'll see where this time puts him in the running order. 15 drivers for this practice race, and he goes P7 with that time. 1 minute 21.3. Close group. Look at those drivers, separated by less than a tenth second down to 4th. It could be a very close battle. A lot of guys sort of C3, C4. I think a lot of guys that probably should be C3 or C4, but see who's on a flying lap. Alex Corson battered. I'm not sure, will he have the fuel to set another time? He might be forced into the pit lane now. Maybe he's in low fuel mode, I'm not too sure. Bit of a queue. The car's just waiting to get back into this, and Alex is one of them. Is easy on an out lap. Got a set of soft compound tyres now on that Red Bull, after first going out for a bit of an exploration on the mediums. Of course, we've got Group 2 running alongside this this race tonight. There's a lot of new faces in that one. A few more familiar names with us today, of course. Some very quick drivers we saw from last season spread across pretty much every tier represented. I think it might be. We might be missing someone from C4, but apart from that, I think every tier is represented in one way or another. But Izzy, he's got, there's 3 drivers out on track. He's the only one setting a flying lap now as he comes across the start finish line. Let's go on board for a lap with the Red Bull driver. He has got a teammate today, actually. Nice clean line through turn 1, holding it in 5th gear instantly, making sure he has that nice clean exit, doesn't have to worry about spinning out at all. Another run down towards turn number 3, heavy braking zone, probably the heaviest on the track. Missing the apex a little bit there, but again, not dropping into 2nd, keeping it 3rd, nice and clean, smooth through turns 4 and running up to turn 5, flat out of course. And the first sector is going to be a 26.8, it's a good time. Definitely quicker than a few of the guys, a lot of guys in sort of the 26.9s we saw on that last lap. And now coming towards us and through this middle sector is only really sort of 2 corners. The middle sector finishes just before that turn 11, 12 chicane, which I think we might see a few prisoners of it. It definitely very easy to pick up penalties, very easy to spin on the exit if you just are a bit too aggressive. And Black Mamba doing well to get out of the way there. Rebel down towards turn number 13. We've got 3 DRS zones as well on this track. One of them, it was just there, and the one down the pit straight, and then one down the following straight in towards turn number 3. But it's easy. 2 more corners to negotiate, 15 and 16. Going through turn 16 and towards the line now. Nice tidy lap from the Red Bull driver. Whereabouts can this put him? Can he get involved in that battle just inside the top 10? Yes, he can. He goes P9 with that flying lap. And Billy Misu, 27.7 in the first sector, so not probably the best for him. Black Mamba, that's not how you want to take turn 1, I don't think. The Mercedes driver making, I think, a bit of an error down there somewhere. So we'll follow Billy Misu, 50.7 for the first combination. C3 driver. I think he had a good result last night, off the top of my head, in the short series. I think he did. Definitely got involved in some of the fights. I remember, yeah, I don't think that little weave suggests to me that he's not quite going for it on this lap, and I think also that the fact that he's not using any ERS also suggests that he's not on a complete push lap. Just as it's going again, we can follow the Ferrari driver on board this time. Won last week in Monza when I commentated the last pre-season race. From the last pre-season I commentated. And we'll see what his first set time is looking like here. A little bit down, so in the almost half a tenth back for that first split. Look at the pace, taking the shortest run through each corner, minimum distance, keeping it nice and clear, using all of the track there on the exit as well, just allowing him to carry the maximum speed he possibly can. Shortest run once again as he runs through. Well, actually he's in a corner, down towards turn 11, he's purple, he's now 2,000 down on his best. Really clean and precise through that 11-12 chicane. It didn't look fast, but he was carrying so much speed, you know. I think on the exit it was still about 275 kph, so very, very quick, nice and tidy, whilst being able to put that power in quite aggressively. Coming through turn 13, 2 corners to go for the Ferrari, keeps it in the track there, don't want to get out on grass, and 1 corner to go, gets on the power now, flat out through that final corner after the midpoint, and the time is going to be a 1:19.2. He finds 3/10 in that final sector, and he extends the gap at the top for him. Alex making up time. How far can he go into 1:20s? Can he keep up that rate of improvement? Across the line he goes now, stays P2, but of course 4/10 improvement, that could be big for his qualifying this evening. The Garbs a little bit up in that first sector, racing in the Williams alongside Maggot Mo, racing the Williams for C3 in season 7. We'll see where he sort himself out to for season 8. But the Garbs, has he found any more time in this middle sector? Running right up against the wall, a little bit down actually, but that was a really nice sort of aggressive and quite precise, but just runs a bit too wide on the exit. And just getting on that curb, he just drifted wide a little bit. We'll see how Brent is getting on his flying lap in the Haas car, the only Haas car here at the track today. 5/10 up in the first sector, so I don't know what happened for him on that previous lap, but an invalidation just at the start of the second sector means this lap will not count for a competitive time. Maggot also invalidated. He comes to the pit lane. Kappa, don't think on flying lapping, he's just finished lap. He's gone into P6 actually on a set of soft compound tyres. And as things stand, 2 drivers yet to set a time, I think, because of their validations and a few mistakes, but Alex and Black Mamba currently down at 14 and 15. See what they go for. Fitted. Brent is retired. Brent is retired. We do have a victim. There we go, on the exit of the turn 11-12, the first person to make a mistake down there, and he'll be hoping that probably that a few guys improve and he can start on a fresh set of tyres for the races. Trick, I haven't got a clue what the strategy is, to be perfectly honest. Having a Scooby-Doo. Alex on an out lap. He's on the medium tyres, very interestingly. I don't think has anyone said it best on the mediums. They haven't. Alex trying out something different. He's definitely got the pace, I think, to definitely be inside the top 10 on the mediums. On his day, one of the quickest drivers I've ever raced against, I must say. In Japan last season, absolutely clinical. Got a hat trick. Super quick driver and very clean on his day as well. So avoiding penalties could be really big in this race. So last night in the short series, penalties did decide things quite a bit, and the corners right now so easy just to, because if you cut it, you're sort of playing it safe. You minimise the risk of losing the car and sort of retiring. So cutting it can be a benefit in one way, but it's a very difficult corner, I think, just to get right every single lap for a whole race, and especially when you're trying to max out in qualities. Or I think Brent was on sort of just a medium lap. It just shows how easy it is to do. Stands up Alex coming around the final corner now. I think he'll be the only car on a flying lap. Bit of a moment though, and he somehow avoided a retirement, running a little bit too wide coming out of that final chicane. Jumps on the powers, trying to get the best run out towards turn 1, and has spun off into all the medium tyres. Of course, not yielding the same level of grip as the softs, and unfortunately for Alex, he's going to have to go back to the pit lane, because that is a bit of substantial bit of damage to his front wing, and definitely will be costing a bit of performance. So he might opt for a set of softs, maybe the same set of mediums, because you only get one set of mediums in a short qualifying. Who was that behind him? It was like Mag on an out lap, who is on a flying lap. Is Florian in the Mercedes, already invalidated down at turn 1. Has he got time to go for another lap? Has he got the fuel to go for another lap? We'll find out in a little bit, I'm sure. But one of the Red Bulls is next to come across the line to start their flying lap, and it is Izzy lining himself up and getting on the power now as he runs down towards turn 1. DRS wide open, and we'll see now what he can produce on this lap. Currently down in P10 through turn 1. No invalidations for him this time around, and it's all hunky-dory at the moment as he now negotiates these corners in the first sector. Of course, oh, he can run a little bit too wide, and that's invalidation unfortunately for him. He won't be proving on this lap. I'm not sure if he has the time to come back into the pit lane. How is Sem doing at the moment? Manages to avoid invalidation like his teammate got. And what's this first sector going to yield for the Red Bull driver? He's found 2.5, 10, 26.5. That's very competitive timing. If you ignore just as his first sector, I think that's the best we've seen so far today. And of course that the Ferrari driver over a second out front. I think he's going to be getting pole this evening. I must have said a 19.2 is a mega quick lap, and Sem trying to split the Ferraris at the moment. He's going the right way about it as things stand. Found a little bit more time. Apparently it's purple in that middle sector, nice and clean through the deadly 11-12 chicane. Yeah, his teammate very nicely gets out of the way for him. Not yielding a toe though, but we'll see in this final sector if he can just get it all hooked up. Can he split the two Ferraris? He needs to find, well, just under 0.5 of a second. We'll see if he can do it. He needs about 2.5 more tenths, but if there's any sector to do, it's the final one. And across the line, it's going to be a 1 minute 20.3. He just about splits the two Ferraris. That's a very good time from the Red Bull driver, Maggot, in this middle sector now as a McLaren. Just coming to start their lap. That's Billy Misu currently down in P12, and he even needs to find a little bit of improvement. Maggot, though, 0.4 of a second up. He could be looking to try and get involved in that battle closer to the front. A very good qualifier. Very good on 1 lap pace, I must say. One of his big assets, I would say. And going through the final sector now. Can he get ahead of Alex? Can he get ahead of Sem? He was definitely carrying the improvement in that middle sector. If he can get a nice clean run through this final corner, gets on the power nicely, flat out towards the line. There's nothing more he can do, and the time is going to be a 1 minute 20.5. Finds 0.3 of a second, but actually stays P4, and closing the gap could. And Degarbs, despite being 3 tenths up, I think may have made a mistake late on and is just starting to back off a little bit and line himself up for a final blast towards the line. Florian has gone on to a set of mediums for his final lap. He's on an out lap at the moment, and so is Baker in front. Billy Misu, though, of course, we saw him, well, we saw from far away that he was just about to start his flying lap. He needs to find a bit of improvement. I think currently down in P12 will be wanting a little bit better than a 21.8. Definitely drive and get into the 1 minute 20s. One more proper braking zone to negotiate. Bit of a lift, actually didn't brake at all for the final corner towards the line now. DRS open, and it's going to be a 1 minute 21.2, just missing out on these 1 minute 20s, but into P9. That lap is looking very close in the high 1 minute 20s and the low to mid 1 minute 20s as well. De Garbs, big improvements on this lap, very much copying what Sen did a couple of moments ago in terms of that first sector time. Actually improvement, both of them finding a lot in that first sector. Doesn't look like he got a toe at all, but he's purple in the middle, 0.3 of a second up now, and he could be getting very close to Maggot. Two Williams cars could be swapping positions. 34 seconds left in this session. We've got Alex on a flying lap, Ralph on a flying lap, so is Andrew. Florian on those mediums, and the Renault getting out of the way, and that's Kappa who's on his outlet. Only one Renault racing with us this evening. And two more corners go to go. I was just missing the apex a little bit there. That could compromise him. And round the final corner, can he find the improvements to improve his position using all the exit there, but judging it to perfection towards the line now. So 1 minute 20.8, losing a lot of time at the final stage. Unfortunately stays P5, but does increase the gap. Andrew pretty much matched what he previously did. We'll see who the drivers who haven't set a lap yet. Alex 26.4, that's a very, very quick first sector from Alex, and that's exactly what he needs. I think he's missed out on the strategy to use the medium tyres. I think it's what he wanted to do, but nevertheless he's going to be, looks to be setting a great time this time. Back member has invalidated. He will be starting at the back of the grid. That's big news. C2 driver, not an ideal qualifying position for him. There's a Alfa Romeo, I think that's Andrew who's spun. Justice have retired. He's not happy with his first sector, how it's gone so far, so I think that will be him. I think he's on pole anyway. No need to worry about that. The Mercedes of Florian will be next car across the line. As where is Andrew? Andrew is just there. Luckily Alex can negotiate this one. There's also one of the Pink Panthers. Florian goes into P6. He does improve on the medium tyres. Alex though across the line. It's a 1 minute 20.340. He just manages to somehow split the gap between Sem and Alex, and that's a very good time from Alex on that one. The two Alexes actually third and fourth, but TTG Alex goes into P3, and that's a look at that battle between second and fourth. Very, very close. That far, half a tenth separates those guys. And to go into the pit lane, but just as it's on pole for this pre-season race around Australia. Like he was last week in Monza. We'll see what surprises the race can throw. Of course, Australia can be a bit of, I wouldn't say car killer, but you know, it can be a bit of a race of attrition. I think I commentated a pre-season race before season 7, and it was just a car killer. Cars just keep going off at the big chicane. Florian though, bit of a dark horse in this one on those medium compound tyres. He's had himself in P7, but a lot of guys doing well with their times. A few guys going to be a little bit disappointed with how their qualifying's gone on, but there's a long race ahead of us. I think it's 31 laps this one, so a lot of time to make up ground, especially having the likes of Black Mamba. Want to be getting off that P15. See what he can do from the back of the grid. So what the bottom 5 decide to do in terms of race strategy. You know, whether they decide to go for a bit of an alternative one, start on the mediums or maybe even the hards. I think a one stop is probably the ideal solution here. It is very, very difficult to overtake despite there being 3 DRS zones. I think unless you've got a massive tyre advantage, you know, or a pace advantage, it is quite hard to find a pass. But you never know, a late safety car and penalties could really change the course of the coming race. If anyone's watching, shoot us some predictions. Let's hear what you have to think about this one. If I had to jump a top 3 for this race, what would it be? I think Justice take the win. I think he might get a hat-trick. I'm going to say it now. I know it's only a pre-season race, but that's what I'm going with. Super quick. I believe the C1 champion as well. So the reigning champion looking to carry his good form through pre-season and take it into the new season. Can we get a back-to-back C1 champion? I'm not sure. I'll have to wait and find out. Will there be a new challenger to the throne though in C1? We'll have to Very much looking forward to looking a bit more at C1 this coming season. We get ready for the formation lap though, and just as will lead us away, Sem Gordon, in P2. The first of the two Alexes is P3, and Alex with a K is 4th. Maggot and De Graaf's 2 Williams cars 5th and 6th. Florian in 7th on those mediums. Very interesting to see how he gets on. If the guys in front maybe have to go for a 2-stop, and he can try that sort of 1-stop. We'll see what he can do. Very, very interested to see how the strategy plays out here. I think we are racing at Australia this season. I think that's the main reason we're doing these pre-season races. We're doing the match tracks we're racing at. So I'm interested to get an idea for what Australia will be like. I'm not sure what the first race is of the new season. I will get that up now, and then we can run through the rest of the grid if I can get it up very, very quickly. If I know where it is. I found it. Bahrain, I believe, is round 1. Round 2 is Australia. So it's not long before we actually race in Australia. The first race will be the Romanian League, I believe, and that will be January 11th on a Monday. Andrew in P8, of course on the softs. Kappa 9th, Baker 10th, Billy Misu opting for the soft compound tyres, he's in 11th. Brent on the hards in P12. That's very interesting strategy. Looking forward to see how he gets on in this race. Izzy on the softs, Ralph on the softs, and Black Mamba on the mediums. Making a bit of mind games going on potentially for the Mercedes driver, giving a bit of a gap to the cars in front, so their tyres get a little bit colder on the grid. I think Brent will be the one who will be really wanting to get temperature into those tyres. Hard tyres are the hardest to, well, that's about ironic, isn't it? Hard tyres are the hardest to get temperature into. You know, it's like what it says on the tin, but as the cars we're getting a little bit wayward there. And as we go round, Justice already on the grid. And we're just waiting for Black Mamba to slot into position. Make sure everything's ready for the race start. Looks pretty good to me. And we're just waiting now. 29 laps, not 31. 29. Same as Bahrain, I think. I think it's the same as Bahrain. As Black Mamba now comes onto the grid. He's on the medium compound. And where the lights should be here very, very shortly. And the cars will duke about for a little bit, but we are ready to get racing. The lights are here now. We have 3, 4 and 5 red lights here in Australia at Melbourne. And it's lights out and away we go. Who can get the best of the start? Looks like Justice got a really good start off from pole position, duking about 3 wide. Third behind the Williams, McLaren and the Ferrari. The Ferrari just about looks to keep ahead. Dueling away, the Williams push onto the grass. Another car onto the grass there. Not quite sure. Black Mamba. Oh, and the Renault's off. The Renault's off of Kappa. Straight into the wall. Not sure who he was involved with. Black Mamba isn't actually in 7th, so I think the timing order having a bit of a mare in this one. Alex pushing on. He is in P3. So managing to get ahead of Alex. What's happened to Alex at the start? Where is actually Alex in the pecking order? He's further down. He got involved in that incident down at turn 1 and was in a bit of a Williams sandwich. There's the strategy. So he pushed on. No safety car at all, even though Kappa is in the wall and out of this one. Couldn't see at all. Just a melee of cars coming out of turn 1. I think it looks like Alex is now dropped down to P6 just behind the 2 Williams. So not all lost for him. Andrew P7, Baker P8, Billy Misu P9. Florian, it's gone from bad to worse side by side though, and Ralph can't find a way past Izzy just on this occasion. And the two Mercedes drivers, it's not going very well for them. Florian, the guy who started the race on the medium compound, looks like he's got wing damage. I think he might be coming into the pit lane at the end of this lap. So the medium tire's not working for him at all there. And look at this, Black Mamba trying to find a way past Brent on those hard tyres. I think maybe struggling a little bit at the start, but of course he can go a lot longer into this race. Safety car probably would have really helped him out on this one, especially with a bit of track position. What's happening between the two Williams at the moment? The gap actually wasn't 2/10 of a second, and trying to work out where the battles are forming on this opening lap. But the gap at the front, just under a second before it is into the pit lanes. The Mercedes guys are working on the car a little bit earlier than they probably would have wanted to. The driver's keeping pretty close at the moment. The gap's up at the front, not too distant. And Black Mamba very, very close to Brent at the moment, yet to find a way past though. Let's get up the telemetry so we can have a look at the ERS, a bit of ERS chat, and that's going to be a warning for the Mercedes driver, just running that a little bit too wide. Semmer's dropped back from a second, and Alex has dropped back to a second now from him, so just out of tantalising close to a bit of DRS, Sem and Alex, but as things stand, won't be getting it when we start the next lap. Black Mamba looks a little bit frustrated behind the Haas car. No damage, or no visible damage, as the Garbs gets the first 3-second time penalty for a bit of track limits. And as we carry on lap 2, we'll look at the battle further back, and for 12th and 13th, Sendo's managed to reel in just as quite a lot on that last lap. He's going to be 9/10 of a second. What's happening further back though? Alex and Maggot have swapped places. I think Maggot may have made a small mistake somewhere. There's been a change of position, and the Williams driver has dropped back a little bit. Here comes Andrew looking for a move down the inside. Can he make this one stick? No DRS with these two just yet, and Maggot just about holding it around the outside. We've got McLaren on the trying to break a toe, I think. But Andrew coming back at Maggot. Can he find a way past him? No, he can't. That compromisation down at turn 1 from the Alfa Romeo, and he just couldn't get quite close enough on the straight, despite a bit of slipstream and a bit of ERS use as well. Just managed to get that back up and over a second, so no DRS worries for our race leader this evening. Black Mamba still frustrated behind the Haas car. He'll be hoping that DRS can help get him past as we go now down towards the chicane of turn 9 and 10. Not getting a good exit. Black Mamba saving a bit of ERS, trying to use it tactically. He's now closing in on Brent. Look behind from the Haas. Mamba definitely does have the control, and that is a very aggressive line through the second part of the far chicane, but not gaining the time I think he would have been wanting, and the number 38 Haas car stays ahead for the time being. Izzy and Billy Misu going wheel to wheel, I think, for a moment just then. It's just as another fastest lap of the race. I'm at 24.1, and to do that straight off the bat, heavy fuel loads, that's a pretty good time from our race. The gap now 1.8 up at the top. Black Mamba does now pick up a 3-second time penalty. Saw him go a little bit wayward on that last lap. Can Izzy get close enough? He's going to have DRS. The McLaren in front hasn't quite got it. And as we run down towards turn number 3, is the straight long enough to make a move? No, it's not. So not quite close enough on this occasion. Black Mamba going down the inside of Brent. Can he make this one stick this time around? He's going to try and squeeze the Haas car. The Haas car's still down the inside. Brent doing his best to defend, but the medium tires around the outside. That's another warning for Mamba, and he gets ahead. Great defensive driving from Brent, making sure that there's no easy route path for Mamba, and great work there from Brent to hold on to the position. Here's Izzy having a look at Billy Misu, but no way past down into turn 9 on this occasion. I'm still behind. Maybe thought about a move there. And Brent holding on to P12. He's got really good traction actually out of turn 9 and 10, just allowing him to sort of just gallop off down this straight, and a little bit wide there. Well, compromising Black Mamba for another 3-second time on it there, but he wants to get away past Brent. Overtaking DRS enabled. Brent covers the inside. Black Mamba trying to go around the outside. Can he make it stick this time around? It's just about clean. He runs a little bit wide now. That's going to have Brent back ahead. Brent keeps holding position once more. Black Mamba just can't get past. Justice keeps improving that fastest lap, and Ralph and Izzy have swapped positions, and it looks like Izzy is in the pit lane. Maybe a small error for him somewhere there. And Billy Misu's retired. And Billy Misu off on the left-hand side. Don't know what quite's happened there. Black Mamba looking to go for a move, and he's ahead and down the inside, and Brent's defence. And that has happened just before the virtual safety car. I believe that was a legal pass. I think Black Mamba was ahead before the VSC came out, but Billy Misu, what happened there? Along that main straight, not sure if he lost the car at all and sort of skated down the wall, or there was contact. We just won't know on this occasion. But we can just look forward to the remaining 24 laps. Already lost 2 drivers, 13 still in this race, and I said it could be a bit of a race of attrition, and it's looking to be like that at the moment. When will the VSC get going? What are the closest gaps on track? We're racing once again. Who can get the best of the restarts? No one picking up a drive-through for jumping the gun a little bit early. Alex getting a little bit wide off of... Oh, and here, DeGarbe's looking for a move. The overspeed was massive for the Williams driver. He's trying to go clean around the outside of the Ferrari. And again, it's literally a replica of what we saw. Black Mamba versus Brent. The overtaking car on the outside gets a bit of grass, doesn't get the best of exits. And Alex holding on to position for the time being, though. I believe this is, if we look at last season's form guide, this is C2 versus C5. Alex doing a brilliant job in P3. Very, very quick driver. I think we could see him at definitely a few higher up tiers. I don't know what tier he'll be in, but I think a little bit higher than C5. And the Garbs not getting the best run through turn 1. I don't think there'll be a way past for the Williams driver down in towards turn 3 on this lap. If anyone's watching and you know, drop what you want to. If you've got any questions about the new season, I can do my best to answer them. Safety car in lap 7. That's what Adi Spinu is predicting. Well, if there was going to be a safety car, it would have been the last lap, wouldn't it? I mean, the car crashed off on the main straight. You would have thought that's good safety car material, but no, apparently it could have been cleared under a VSC. The Australian marshals have been up on absolute fire tonight. I'd love to know what they've been taking. You know, they managed to clear Kappa's car well in seconds. No safety car, no VSC needed that time around to Garbs. His best option seems to be down into turn 13 where we are at now, but no way past there. It wasn't quite close enough coming off of the far chicane. Black Mamba now getting towards the back of Ralph. He can't get a final way through just yet. Not probably making the progress he would want to do, and it's now into the 23s just about for Justice. But yeah, I mean, it's always been changing position. Alex into the pit lane. First one to pull the trigger. What tyres will he be going on to? Hard to the end, and he's going on to another set of soft compound tyres. So committing to that 2-stop is Alex. He'll be hoping for a safety car, because I think a lot of the guys will be thinking about a 1-stop in this one. I think time-wise, it is quicker, and Black Mamba has got ahead of Ralph. We were watching that pit stop, so Ralph runs a little bit wide on the corner X. I think that was an easy move down into turn 1. Bit of DRS, bit of VRS, and he's through. Alex has come out ahead of Izzy and ahead of Florian. Yellow flags. Oh, and Florian's thinks had a moment somewhere on those hard tyres, not giving the grip he wants. He's still got his front wing fully intact, but definitely losing out quite a lot of time there. And Garbs now. People are saving overtake quite well. I've seen it deploy quite a bit, but didn't seem to be a track they uses a lot. Or just that turbulent air, he just gets a bit of understeer, and Alex, what a save! I thought the car was gone into the wall there. The rear almost looked to flick around. We've got a very good battle shaping up for P3. Of course, Alex, currently down at P11, has pulled the undercut effectively on this battle. We'll see if the Ferrari and the Williams decide to come in. Just as still setting fastest laps. Alex stays out. The Garbs, oh, pardon me again. The Garbs is coming into pit lane. What tyres will he be putting on? Is it hards? Is it mediums? Is it softs? Of course, his pit box down at the end. And I think that is a set of the hard compound tyre. It looks like the Williams driver is looking to go to the end of this race. And as he comes out of the pit lane, I think he might be behind of Alex. Is also into the pit lane is Baker. It's close, but Alex is ahead as he sets a purple final sector on a brand new set of soft compound tyres. But of course, Alex has got to do that extra stop. He's forced himself onto the 2-stop because you have to use at least 2 different types of tyre. However, he does have to consider he's got 3 seconds of penalty to his name. Get the tyre graphics up and running on screen as well now. And what will Maggot and Alex decide to do on this next lap? I think the top 2 got a bit of a buffer. They can sort of keep doing what they want for the time being without having to worry about losing position. But Alex is the one setting the fastest times at the moment. Gaining on Brent. He's just got so much. We'll try to do a quick comparison. So Brent through here about 230, 220. Alex 250 was the minimum speed there. So he's gained probably about 20 kph through that chicane alone. And the gap, yeah, coming down between these two. Alex needs to probably just take advantage of the grip he's got at the start. You can see the gap he's already built to Garbs, 2.4. He's pretty close when they came out the pit lane that last lap. And Alex and Maggot staying out. That would suggest to me that they are also going for the 1-stop in this race. Not looking to pit more than the once. Of course, safety car, something like that could put a spanner in the works. But yeah, Alex, fast lap of the race, 1 minute 23.54. And if we have a look at the fastest laps, you can see 3rd and 4th place, they're in the best laps are in the 24.8. And he's got a flag somewhere. What's happened? Maggot's got a moment somewhere. Has he got damage to his Williams? Yes, he has. I think he might have had a spin coming out of turn 5. It can be difficult if you get that right tyre on the curb, and you can just lose the car. And unfortunately, the Williams driver has done that. See how much time he's lost from Alex, who's a couple of corners up the road. So not losing massive amounts of time, but definitely taking him, I think, out of the battle for P3 and actually getting out of the way. I think just being a little bit sensible, knowing his wing damage. So sensible stuff there from the Williams driver, but not ideal for his race. Now you can see the understeer definitely into the pit lane this lap, and just struggling to keep it on the track. Just because of that understeer, he's now getting Alex absolutely flying at the moment. Look how much speed he can carry through that chicane. He's going to have overtake. DRS enabled. Coming up against Brent. He's going to go to the inside. He's going to make this move. Nice and bold down the inside. And Sem goes into the pit lane. So is Alex K. And Brent just tucking in behind there. It was a synchronised move almost from the Haas, just slotting in behind it. Maggot's position to Ralph now. And Ralph ducking the pits. Ralph staying out for another lap. Maggot's coming in. Alex counts the hards, Sem goes onto the hards. Will Sem get jumped by Alex though in the McLaren? I think he will. Alex will take track position now in an effective P2 in terms of track position if everyone comes into the pit lane. I think he would slot out in P2, Alex. So he's now got the clean track in front of him. He needs to make best use of it in this race. In my opinion, he needs to really put the pedal down and probably would come into the pit lane. As I said, a mediums with sort of 12, 13 laps to go, I would have thought. I think the second he starts losing pace, he needs to be straight into the box. Izzy very close with Andrew. So if he can sort of line one up. Izzy on the much fresher tyres. He's on the medium tyres, so might have that tyre advantage. We'll see now running. Actually, I'll take that back. He's run pretty wide. He's got a penalty and seems to be struggling for a little bit of grip there. Maybe and wraps into the wall. The old soft combo tyres, and he can't get the car spun round either. I don't know how he's done that. I think maybe getting up the grass is an awkward place to spin. And the Racing Point driver is around losing loads of position, and his strategy of maybe going a bit longer, looking for maybe a safety car in this race, has fortunately ended, and it can be very, very difficult. He's got a puncture. It doesn't look like it. A small error. Sem wasn't getting very, very close to Brent on this lap. Izzy also getting very close to Andrew, but no way through just yet. The two Red Bull drivers on the attack at the moment. Not a great final work. Actually, DeGardo's closed a lot on Sem as well. Sem was in a comfortable P2 in this race, and Brent goes a little bit deep. Will that allow the Red Bull to have a go now as they run down towards turn number 3? His interception is in the DRS. Brent's going to force him. Oh no, I thought he was going to force him to the outside. Brent lets him have the inside. Pretty much. He's going to try and hang it around the outside actually, Brent. He gets forced out a little bit. He's going to slot in behind now to take P5 in this race. Of course, Brent on a different strategy. He's looking to go long into this race, maybe hoping for a safety car a little bit later on. That was a pathetic cough. That was a slightly better one. Ralph comes out in P13 after his pit stops. And surely just as out front will be coming in this lap. Oh, a helicopter shot. I like those. That's so nice. Oh, it ended. What a shame. One of the highlights of the race, I must say. Looking for a move down the inside. Why would you have a look there? I think it's silly to go wheel to wheel into that fast chicane. You want to line up your opponent. He's got the better grip. He's got the fresher tyres. Line it up. Use DRS and a bit of ERS, and you'll be heading past down here. Yellow flag, and that's the McLaren Mercedes. I got it there in the end. That's Florian. Hanging a little moment. Has he got damage? Oh, the heli shot. Yes, he has on that front left, I believe. As we sort of look at it, as we look at it, kind of front right if you look from the front left if you look from the back. So a little bit of damage. I think he might have to be forced into the pit lane. Not ideal when you're on the hard compound tire. I think you only get one set as well, so it's not like he can go on to another set of hards in this race. DeGarve still behind Brent. Brent is getting DRS though from Sem in front. Sem hasn't quite been able to break that second. I think the 3 DRS zones really do help around this track. Even though Brent has got tyres that are 9 laps older, he is able to keep with relatively Sem in front. And holding off the Garbs in the process as well. DRS I think is quite powerful around this track. Yellow flags, and that is I think for Florian. Of course, that wing damage. Justice has come out the pit lane. I want to say the mediums. Justice going for the 2-stop, which intrigues me. Definitely intrigues me. There's a little bit of a gap further behind. I'm sort of hoping that Justice is. I mean, I do like him. He's a very good driver, but I kind of hope that when he pits, he's behind a few drivers that are on the hard, so he has to work for that win. a little bit, but he's right now behind Black Mamba. He's going to get DRS on the main straight, and I think this could be an easy move. He's got 100% ERS. He's been saving up. He's not needed to use it, and now he can use it. Will he get past into turn 1? I think he might wait for turn 3. It's a bit more of an easy overtaking opportunity down into turn 3. You know, you can a bit more of a heavy braking zone. Bama gets a bit wayward on the exit. Justice already looking to get past DRS and overtake, and he's going to be up and ahead as they go down into turn 3 and already ahead as they get into the braking zone. And the Ferrari is ahead of the Mercedes. I've said that for a few years. Garbs still frustrated behind Brent, who's now lost DRS from Sem in front. Still not half race distance. There's so much excitement left to come in this one. And again, if you want to add to the excitement and get involved, please do, because this could get into a little bit of a procession. Oh, we got a comment. That's exciting. It's possible just go to the end of the mediums. Oh, I didn't think about that, to be honest. Ali Spinu saying that Justice could go to the end on the mediums, or he's asking, could he go to the end of the mediums? It is possible. Yeah, so Ali Spinu suggesting that Justice could go to the end on the mediums. It wouldn't surprise me. He's not using ERS, you know, he's being very conservative, I would imagine, and he could do. I'd like to see him put on a set of softs, though, to give us a bit of excitement. And he's now using his overtake button a little bit more. And he sets a fast lap of the race in the process. There we go. Yeah, I'd like to see him put on a set of softs, though, and make a bit of a charge through some guys on old hards. And Dugard's getting a bit closer and running down towards turn 1. He's got overtaken, ERS enabled. He's going to get ahead of Brennan, clean ahead as they go forward into turn 1. He's got DRS now. I think that's also quite interesting. If you get the move done down at turn 1, you now have you've got DRS for the following straight as well to help you defend and hold on to that position. The Mercedes, is that the Mercedes of? Mercedes Florian just behind Alex at the moment. Of course, no ghosting anymore. So you can't just sort of drive through your rivals. I think if you're trying to unlap yourself, you know, you've got to properly unlap yourself. Bit of a lock-up from Alex. He needs to pit once again. So we'll see how he gets on. And actually, I think maybe just sort of letting Florian flew. Florian on a set of fresh mediums. Probably got a little bit better pace than some old softs. Alex being 17, and actually what Alex can do here is use Florian as almost as a bit of a slipstream, a bit of a DRS help for him. If he can keep within a second, it's very hard to judge, of course, because you don't actually know, and actually because of 3-second time penalty for the first time in this race. I think it's the first time. Just as another fast lap of the race, but it's DRS once again for Alex, and that will be definitely help him go a little bit longer. He can go mediums to the end now. Can Justice do the whole race on the mediums? That'll be something I'm very interested to see. I'm interested whatever he does. If he pits, I'll be interested, because it should be some great racing. I'm interested if he can go to the end on this set. Of course, we've seen punches here before. Black Mamba picking up 3 seconds. He's currently in P2, extending that stint. Maybe he's trying to do mediums to soft. That could be an interesting one. Soft probably about 10 laps safely in them, so he needs to do a few more laps. Black Mamba, but if he makes a charge through the field, that's something I'll also be looking forward to watching. And Florian gets... Oh, that's harsh. That is very, very harsh. Florian, he unlapped himself, and he now gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flags, despite being visually quite a bit quick. Well, not... he's quick enough to be ahead. He is pulling away from Alex, and I think that's a harsh one. Well, I'm actually I'll ask post-race how penalties like that will be decided, because I know it's the rule. I know, blue flags are being waved, and you've got to let the driver pass within 3 boards or something. I think that's what the actual F1 rule is. In the context of league racing, will that still be a penalty? As Alex is into the pit lane, we actually need to pay attention to what's going on before we chat about penalties and whatnot. But Alex into the pits, and that will promote quite a few drivers. But it's mediums to the end now for the McLaren driver. Where's he going to slot out? It could be close, actually, as the likes of Alex. The likes of Andrew. Andrew, I think, will get ahead. Yes, he will. Will Izzy, though. Izzy's just got Alex getting a little bit wayward on the traction. and he's just going to miss out on this one. I don't think that little moment cost him, but he's down in P9. A bit of work to do, but he's got the freshest tyres and a softer compound to make it happen. And this is something to look forward to, definitely. I would imagine. Alex now getting close to Brent. Oh, a heli shot. I love a heli shot. Alex closing in Brent on the gap. 0.6 of a second. They go through turns 9 and 10. Bit of overtake enabled for the Ferrari man. Who's going to get the best run through turns 11 and 12? Is that 11 and 12? It's 11 and 12. Don't be getting it right. Alex already within 0.4 of a second further back. Penalty for Andrew. Oh, and it's Izzy. Oh, and Alex does well. Alex does well to avoid that. Is Izzy having an absolute tank slapper? And somehow he kept the car out of the wall. Great work from Izzy. Great save on that one. And now that puts Baker on the back of the Red Bull drive. But Alex did well. It was so hard to read. The Red Bull switched from one side to the other. And he just did well, I think, just to not almost follow him into an accident. Well done to Alex. Of course, if they made contact, it would have been an almighty crash, ghosting off. Is a new thing. I'm looking forward to it. And Brent has lost position to Alex. They're wheel to wheel down at turn 3. Alex has got the inside. He's got the high ground, and he nips ahead as they go through into turn 4. And that was move on to DRS. Alex goes down the inside, and he's now up in a P5. Of course, Brent still has to pit in this race. Baker very close to Izzy, but no way past just yet. And now Alex has got to push on. He's got to see how far of the grid he can get. He's got quite a few laps to do it, about 12 laps to. We can see what he can do. Florin gets 3 seconds, but he's coming down in P13. So probably doesn't have to worry about that too much for the moment. He'll be wanting a bit of a safety car at some point. A safety car would make this very, very interesting, I would say. Not that I want one. Not that I want anyone to crash out either. Not to lie, I don't want anyone to crash out or have a bad moment. As Izzy gets 3 seconds added again. But it would be very interesting. Izzy actually lost again. He lost the car again. Maybe those mediums are starting to give up on him. Blackman's taking his mediums 17 laps, doing a very good job. And I think that confirms he wants a set of soft compound tyres very soon. Nursing these tyres the whole way, doing a splendid job, we must say. And I think we could be seeing him into the pit lane on this lap for a set of softs. He got Izzy into the pit lane. I think he'll be onto a set of softs, and he's onto a set of softs. There we go. Fresh set of softs as well. The Pros Maggot into P10. And Mamba, well, now surely into the pit lane this lap. Interesting to see where he slots out, especially in comparison to Alex, the McLaren driver in P8. He was getting very close to Andrew. Is he going to make the move? He's using overtake. Is he going to get ahead as they go into turn 9? Andrew just about gets the car slowed down in time as Alex goes clean around the outside. Is that a celebratory weave? I'm not sure. But he is ahead. He's up in a P7 now. It is DRS though for the Alpha behind it. It just doesn't think, I don't think has the grip on those hards to compete through turns 11 and 12. And Alex now up in a P7, making real progress in this race. And now he's got Brent 7 seconds up the road. Oh, and that was that could have been an almighty crash, but keeps out of the wall, does well job. Blackman goes on another lap, so doesn't want to take the soft tyres just yet. And Justice as well, if he's taking those mediums to the end, and I think it is visibly doable. We can see Black Mama's doing it pretty well, and he's got relatively good pace, it must be said. The driver who started last. So yeah, I think Justice definitely going on to a set of, or definitely going to the end of this one. And I think, do you know what? I think if he pitted now, he'd still have the lead, you know, or it'd be pretty close. I think he should go for it still. But nevertheless, surely Batman was in the pit lane on this lap. Alex already got that gap down to 6.3 seconds between him and Brent. Of course, Alex's battle really is with Sem the Garbs and Alex K, 2020 edition. Oh, a comment. That's exciting. Yeah, I would think Blackman was going to pit this lap. We'll go on board with him. As Justice goes into the 22s for the first time, and yes, that is been absolutely spot on. Black Mamba into the pits, and it'll be soft compound tyres to the end. Where would he slot out? Mercedes boys run out very late, and we get out in time. That's a rare thing. The Mercedes guys run out late, but perfect the stop. Normally, it's a bit of a mismatch when they come out late. But where's he going to slot out? Trickling down the pit lane. I think he will be ahead of Alex. Which shows he's really made the one-stop work, it must be said. Alex is going to better run through turn 1. I don't think we'll have DRS on that McLaren. But it's closing up now. We could see a battle, but I would imagine the soft tyres give Black Mamba the grip to be able to pull ahead. The gap at the top now 23 seconds, so Justice does have that buffer to pit. Maybe he might do for a bit of a fastest lap push in a couple of laps' time. But Alex and Black Mamba now, they're the ones to keep an eye on. They've got a charge, you know, in line at the moment. They're the ones that are going to be looking to try and push through the pack as best as possible. Alex gets a time penalty. That's Alex K in the Ferrari, and actually the other Alex gets another 3-second time penalty. So starting to build up, some drivers done very well to avoid them. We'll have a look at the penalties themselves. 6 for the guard, 3 for Alex, and Black Mamba's picked up another one. So he's now on 15. So I think whatever his track position will be, won't be his finishing position. And then it's 9 for Alex, 3 for Andrew, 9 for Baker, 3 for Maga, 6 for Azizi, and then Florian has got 14. How do you get 14? 1 5 and 3 threes. Look at me doing maths. Oh yeah, flags. Oh, Alex is facing the wrong way. Down at turn 1, and that will hamper his progress completely. Spins the McLaren round. He's got damage to his front wing. Black Mamba's already within a second of Brent now. But I assume that was losing the car coming out of turn 1. He's actually not got wing damage, impressively. But Maggot goes past the McLaren, and he moves up on the P9. But Black Mamba getting very, very close now to Brent. I think he'll be the one we're watching over the last couple of laps. Another yellow flag, and Baker's retired in this race. Baker is out, and that is... Oh, and Alex as well to avoid him, and Alex almost into the wall himself. That's a VSC that has been called out. Of course, you have to be careful because, well, there's no ghosting. Oh, it couldn't have been a safety car. I'd have loved a safety car. Ralph is coming in his and he's taking advantage of this VSC. What will our race leader decide to do? He couldn't have pitted even if he wanted to. What will these guys do? Will anyone take the gamble, take the risk? And Sem is taking the gamble. He is taking the risk. And he's coming in, I assume, for a set of soft compound tyres. So is the Garbs. What is Alex K going to do? He's going to stay out. He's going to take the alternative risk. Alex has retired from the session. Oh, Alex has lost it under safety car conditions, or VSC conditions, I believe, coming out of the turn 11-12 chicane. We'll get a better visual if his car is still there. That's adding to the VSC almost, and there is his car on the left hand side. He looks to have crashed into the wall. DRS enabled. We're racing once again despite there being a car on the side of the road. I think we should have had a safety car for that one, in my personal opinion. Brent has taken advantage of this. He is come out the pits lane. He's got fresh shocks to the end. He's currently in P8. So Black Mamba, after starting last, being held up a little, well, held up, that's not the right, fighting with Brent for quite a bit of the start, is now less than a second off of Alex in front. Of course, he's got an almighty list of penalties to his name. Andrew's under threat from Sem now, of course, Sem of the Garbs and Brent all pitting under that VSC for fresh softs. Andrew goes to the inside, he goes defensive. Can Sem go around the outside? No, he can't. He's going to be held up a little bit now. His progress being hampered, and look who's right behind. It's the Garbs in their personal battle. Sem could actually jump Black Mamba here. Black Mamba who's looking to make a move on Alex. He goes down the inside at turn 13 and he's ahead now. Running a little bit wide, and Sem gets a 3-second time, but no further back. Of course, he's just behind Andrew, and we could get a maybe a move around the outside. It's clean around the outside. Can he get the car slowed down? Just about. And I think that might have picked him up a warning. Andrew goes defensive now because he's straight under attack from the Garbs just behind him. The soft tyre runners making his race come alive. Looking for a move there was Andrew. I think probably sensible just to back out. He would have had DRS anyway. Andrew might actually also have DRS, help him defend. He does. And we're going to get a drag race down towards turn 1. Andrew covers the inside. DeGarve trying to go around the outside. Bit of squeezing going on between the drivers. Can he hand this one around the outside? He's going to try to. Gets pushed a little bit wide. He keeps his foot in the door there to try and make sure the gap was there. Wheel to wheel now they go, and he has managed to slot ahead of Andrew. And actually now it's Justice, the only one without a penalty. I mean, that just shows why he's out in front by 33 seconds in this race. It's probably not been the most entertaining evenings for him. He's not had a lot of coverage, I don't think. We'll try, do you know what, we'll try and do a lap on board with him at some point. I hope he comes into the pit lane. I'd love to see him do a soft tyre, push lap, giving it everything, and we can watch it. Brent now within a second of Maggot. Tyres definitely allowing Brent to do that. He's got fresh softs versus some old mediums. Maggot trying to break the toe as best he can on this curve. Bit of motorway. Brent says the purple middle sector. Very nice line from Brent now. Maggot runs a little bit wide. That's going to compromise him. Overtaking DRS and A1 now for Brent. He wants to go on the inside. I think Maggot just has to leave in the room there. And Brent's going to go down the inside. And will he slot ahead? Yes, he will. And he gets a nice clean exit out of turn 13. He moves up into P7. A good move down the inside from the Dutch driver. So Alex just saying he just lost it under VSC as he received front wing damage. Well, he did receive front wing damage from that crash down at turn 1. It didn't look like it visually, as Brent says the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 22.7. Yeah, Bert Marlander is not wanting to take part. He must be the other racers probably had about 4 safety cars, and he turned up at the Group 2 race rather than the Group 1 one. I don't know what's happened in Group 2. I mean, for all I know, they could be very, very clean and no safety cars at all, but I genuinely don't know how it's all going for that. But yeah, Bert Marlin is definitely not at this race event. I think we should have probably had 2 safety cars, lap 1, and when there were two cars off a couple moments ago. Is he easing the pit lane again? He's on for a set of soft compound tyres. And now the Garth and Sem looking to chase after Alex. They got 5.7 seconds. They've got a few laps to do it. Fresh softs versus hards. I would imagine they can close the gap now. But look at the bottom right hand side of your screen. I've not seen that before, and not many cars have it. What's happened to Sem? Why has he got? He had a bit of a warning sign on the bottom right, and now he's got a fuel marker as well. So maybe he could be running out of fuel in not so long. I don't think many other drivers have that. Yeah, Justice does have a free stop for the fast lap. I kind of hope he does. I want to watch him do a push lap, but yeah, Alex saying he was unlucky. He wasn't focused on the race as 10 minutes before he received the message that someone close to him might have COVID. So hopefully they're okay. Wish them all the best. But yeah, I mean, it's only a practice race, isn't it? It's where you make mistakes. I mean, yeah, look at my preseason last thing. I was trying in preseason in season 7. I was really trying. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, of course, as long as you're all set up for the season ahead, which I'm sure you will be. And whatever tier you're placed in, ready to get going. And finding Sem has managed to close the gap a little bit to Alex. Gap now coming down a little bit now, down to 4.2. DeGarve picking a penalty just behind. I think penalties will be sorting this race out, because if we look at the penalties themselves, yeah, Black Mamba 15 seconds clear. Well, we've got 15 seconds worth of penalties, which will drop him quite a bit down the order. Definitely behind Alex and Sem. They've both got 3 seconds each. DeGarve has 9 seconds, and it's 3 seconds for Andrew, Brent and Maggot. 17 for Oren and 6 for Izzy. What is Justice going to decide to do? I think we'll watch his last lap, no matter what. The last lap of the race. Because I think, well, we've got the Sem and Alex battle shaping up at the moment. They've got the same amount of penalties, and I think that will actually be for P2, or decide the podium match. I think they're 2nd and 3rd because of Black Mamba's penalties in front. So it decides who stands on which step of the podium. Izzy gets 3 seconds. He's going down in P10 though. Don't have to worry too much about that one. I think he'll be jumping Florin anyway on penalties, but you never know, could do it on track. the fresh softs, allowing him to close up. And I've got Sem behind him. Sem will wanting to get past. Sem will get DRS on this next straight to get ahead. Raffles to the right hand side. And Sem managed ball passing. Was that Black Mamba picking another penalty? I think it might have been. I think this will be a problem we're going to see if anyone has a bit of an unlucky race and ends up getting lapped. They might just have to like get out of the way for other drivers, and that's not going to help you because it's not something you really do in league racing, is it? A bit on yellow flag inside free. Alex retired. Alex had retired. Alex is out. He was in such a good position in this race. He was surely a podium. It was nailed on for him. There he is. He's had a moment. He's crashed on. Oh, Alex. 2 laps to go. It's not going for either Alex in this race. Gutting for Alex K. Looking to get a brilliant result here today against some really quick drivers. And it was almost going to be a double Ferrari podium. Could have been a Ferrari 1-2. Really frustrating again. Bert's, Bert's not fussed to come out. He can't be arsed. Go on, Justice, come in the pit lane. He's coming into the pits. Let's go. Brent's getting close to Andrew now. The gap's 0.6 of a second, and I'm going to watch that last lap 100%. And do you know what? After all that, he's got such a big gap behind. Justice picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Who would have thought? His only penalty of the evening. And Brent now getting really close to Andrew. 5 in a second. Will he try and make him? We've gone a little bit deep there in the first part of the chicane, and I don't think he'll have the legs to sort of close that gap in. Black Mamba, will he jump the Ferrari? I don't think he will. I don't think he just has to worry anyway, because Black Mamba's just got so much more penalties. He'll know that. He can see that live on the screen, but I think maybe Black Mamba might want a way through. Just as using all of his ERS, though he's saved up so much, he just can do it. I think with fresher tyres, he's just going to pull away over the next couple of corners. Brent versus Andrew, though. Running out towards someone. Andrew takes an inside line. That's going to compromise him, though. And Brent's going to get a much nicer exit on the run down towards turn 3. I thought the car was going to slide away from us there a second. The DRS and ERS enabled. He goes to the inside. Brilliant little dummy there from Brent. Down towards turn 3. Bit of contact, but I think, to be all honesty, I'm actually going to call this one. I don't normally do this, but I think Andrew did turn in a little bit there on Brent and Ralph. And he swapped positions, but I think that's just a bit of a glitch in the timing screen. I don't know what's happened up front, but just has managed to pull away about 5 seconds already. 7 seconds now, and what's happened to Black Mamba? Has he got a problem? Doesn't look like it. Oh, everyone's been kicked out. Apparently Justice has left, Brent's left. Everybody's leaving the session. Oh, what's happened here? What is happening in this race? What's happened in this race? Everybody's just leaving. I assume it's a glitch, so everyone's being... I don't know why. Why is everyone coming to the pit lane, though? Everyone is literally leaving the session. I assume it's some sort of glitch. And everyone's coming into the pits. Justice has just put on a set of old mediums. I mean, that's a quality AI move. We could have a race of the AI in the final lap here. What is happening here in Australia? It's all going a bit crazy, to be honest. Black Mamba's coming out now. He's on a set of fresh softs. Can his ghost catch him? Andrew now has gone up in a P2. I don't think he's left the session. I don't think Andrew has left the session. We're on the final lap of this race. What is going on? The servers are probably down. I mean, they're rarely up, to be honest. They're not exactly ideal. But Maggot and... oh no, Andrew's left the session as well. Or he's just got poor internet. I can't tell. I think everyone's left the session. Is a ghost driving it? I really can't tell. Am I currently watching a race of... I don't think anyone's actually in this race. That's gone very well, isn't it? Florian's going to be forced into the pit lane as well. Everyone just coming into the pits. I think Justice will his ghost still will win this one. But what an end to this race. I mean, it sums it all up really, doesn't it? It's a battle of the ghosts over the last few laps, or the last lap. Will Andrew's ghost go for a move? He's not going to get close. You get closer. No way past just yet. Problem is, because we ghosting's off, the cars don't ghost. Well, you know, when there's no one basically driving them. I'm watching a race full of ghosts, aren't I? Well, Justice, he's deserved the race win. He's going to come around the final corner after putting on a set of old mediums. I think he's done 3 stops in this race, if I'm correct. He has done. He's going to win it. He deserves it. And it's a P1 for the Ferrari driver. Andrew takes P2. Maggot is in P3. Batman across the line. I think he'll drop down a little bit further. Sem will cross the line. He will take P4. And the guards will be P5. Brent will come around the final corner. Will he jump Black Mamba? I don't think so, but it might be close. And he takes P number 7, just misses out. Izzy quite a way behind. And I think he knows he's pretty much nailed on for P8 with Florian and Ralph further back. But Justice takes the win, and well, that was a very interesting turn of events. Right at the end, and well, Andrew and Maga, I don't think anyone would have had them on for the podium about 5 laps ago. Well, about 2 laps ago, before everyone all of a sudden left. Izzy absolutely destroying third gear and ruining the Red Bull gearbox, and we finished this one because I think a few of the guys were lapped. But that was a very interesting end to the race. Justice has taken another win in preseason. Black Mamba gets driver of the day after starting down in P15. Thank you everyone for joining me in the comment section. It's been good to have a bit of conversation. Because at times we were just sort of waiting for things to happen, waiting for things to build up, and hopefully, you know, you've enjoyed this little pre-season race. I would imagine I think there is another one. If I can remember off the top of my head where it is, I think there is another one. I'll have a quick check. I don't know if I'll commentate it, but there is a practice race of France next Tuesday, so I definitely want to commentate that. That's sarcastic, but I mean, if people want to commentate, I will commentate it if I'm free. Justice takes the win, followed by Andrew, followed by Maggot. I think they're a surprise to anyone. I'm reading some of the comments in the Discord. I think they are a little bit shocked to be on the podium, but you've got to take it sometimes, haven't you? Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see everybody soon. Yeah, I think actually Izzy seems to be the only one left in the lobby. Oh, it's Izzy and me. So who's hosting? Who was Izzy's now the host? Who was the host? Was it Brent? I think it was. No, it was Black Mamba. Black Mamba was the host. I don't know what's going on. I'll read the comment and we'll see. And see what's going on. Oh, it's kicked me out. Thank you for thanks for that. But we could do the Silverstone short circuit next. I mean, that's a cracker, followed by a lovely list of tracks. Well, I won't drag the stream on too long, but thanks guys for watching. Hopefully we'll see you very soon. I'm commentating tomorrow. Make sure to check out the F2 tomorrow night. It's going to be a great race around Spa. So everybody's going to be watching that. See everybody tomorrow.